Hello everyone and welcome to today's sessions, and today we will learn a new keyword called finally. We already learned the try catch block. We already learned how to use multiple catch block. Now today we will learn what is finally block, when to use finally block, how to use finally block. Okay, so you can see here I have already created a finally demo class where I have written some syntax, and if you check here I am using the same package com.demo.excp. Okay, now here you can see under this main method I have a try block, and I have two catch block. One is for arithmetic exceptions, another one is for null pointer exceptions. And here I have given a simple message instead of error message. I am simply giving for understanding that I am in the first catch block. This is my first catch block, this is my second catch block. Now here you can see I have used another keyword called finally, and this finally is used just after my last catch block. So always remember your finally block should be situated just after the last catch block. And here I have written another statement that I am in finally block. Okay, now in this program if I try to create, let's say, a integer variable. Okay, a is equal to, again the same type of example, 20, and let's say b is equal to 5, and then let me print the divisions of that 20 divided by 5. So I can simply put, let's say, result is equal to, what is the division type of thing, that is basically a, that is nothing but 20, divided by b, that is nothing but 5. Now you can see here this is a normal situations, right, where a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 5, so definitely I will get result as 4, right? Now thing is that, think carefully that do we have any exceptions here? No. So that's mean it will only execute this try block with this print statement, and no arithmetic exceptions or no null pointer exceptions will be caused here. Now if I try to run here, let's check the result. So once I click on this run button, you can see first time I am getting result is equal to 4, that is nothing but this one, line number 8. And what is my next statement coming here, that is I am in finally block. So this is my finally block, and here the statement I have written I am in finally block. So what you will learn here, so you can see here in my try block everything is a normal and there is no abnormal situations, and my print statement coming here properly. So though there is no error message, but still once my try block completed here, it will actually go to the final block. Now let's create another statement where, let's say, I have some error message. So make this b as 0, and now it should be a abnormal situations, 20 divided by 0, and it should go to the arithmetic exceptions catch block. Now if there is any catch, will that again print that final block statement, that is I am in final block? Let's check that. So if I run this, it's first go to this try block, here it will cause a arithmetic exception, it definitely go to this block and it will print that I am in fast catch block. Now we have to check that when any exceptions occur, will this statement printing or not in our output console. Let's run this. So you can see here first time it's go to this try block, try to print this one with these calculations, and here it will cause an error. And which type of error? That is basically a arithmetic error, because we are trying to divide it by 0. B is nothing but 0, and when it's a arithmetic operations, definitely this statement which is available on line number 10 for this arithmetic exception is coming here, and it shows I am in fast catch block. So here you can see it says that I am in fast catch block. Now though I am getting exceptions here, still my finally block giving a message here, right? So that's mean first time we check that if it's a normal situation, that time also the finally block is executed. And if I have some abnormal situation, though I am getting some exceptions here, and that's come to a catch block, still the finally block execute. So it's mean whatever the situations available in your try block, it may be a normal situations, it may be an abnormal situations, but always your finally block will be executed, right? So now the question is that if this finally block execute every time irrespective of normal or abnormal situation, so when we actually use this type of finally block, or why we need this type of finally block? So the best example is database connections. So maybe some of you aware or some of you not that there is a concept of database, which may be MySQL, maybe some Oracle, any type of database. So it is also possible to make a connections from your Java to that database. So to create a connections, let's say it's your try block and you have some logic need to be written so that some data you can insert in your database. So first time what you have to do, under your try block you have to create a connections. So here you have to create a database connections. Okay, now once your logic is done, let's say this is my to logic, or maybe there are more lines for these database operations, and finally you are trying to close that connections, right? You have to close these database connections. So here let's say you written some statement show that you can close the database connections. Now think carefully. Let's say in between of your open connections and close connections, the logic cause some error. Okay, so that's mean without going to this statement it will directly go to any of your catch block, right? So that's mean your database connections is still open, right? So how you can handle that type of situation? So instead of writing your close statement here, you can write your close statement here. That's mean irrespective of your business logic, when you already created your database connections in your first line, definitely if any happy scenario happened or unhappy scenario happened, it obviously go to the finally statement or finally block, right? And here you can write your close statement. So now if you bit confused with the database connection, so I'm giving another example that you already done. So number of time you have created scanner class instance, right? And using this scanner class instance, you basically taking the input from your users, right? So on that time, once you already perform or done your scanner class instance operations, then what we will do, we will basically close that scanner class instance, right? So we basically close the scanner class instance, right? So instead of making your close operations here, you can make your close operation under this finally block. So what happened there then? If your logic failed, and it will go to the catch block, and if you make your scanner class close operations, let's say under this finally block, so irrespective of your exceptions or your happy path, always your scanner close operations execute and you will follow the best practice. Now another good example of finally block, to send email notifications to your customer. Let's say you have written some logic in your try block. Now it can be a success or it can be a failure. If it's a success, then it will not go to any catch block, right? But if it's a failure, then it will go to the catch block. But you want to send email notifications, something like sending the status of your logic, let's say. Okay, so if it's a success, then also you need to send a notifications with success message. If it's a failure, then also you want to send a notifications to your customer with failure status, right? So for both the case, you need to send a notification, and that is only possible if you fire your email notifications under this finally block. So hope you can understand that irrespective of your normal or abnormal situations, it always we go to this finally block, and you can perform that type of must to have operations under this finally block.
I believe this video has helped you to understand about the topic. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, click on the bell notifications and select all so that you don't miss any video from this channel.